Grand day, amazing souls. How are you feeling? So, this is going to be a quick message transmission. So, something happened today that really took me back to a couple of things in my past, right? And this transmission is catered around whose validation do you need, right? And that wasn't the word that I used, but I'm gonna say this for now because it might not be the title. However, something just happened and it involved family. Let me say this. Family are the first individuals that they're the first teachers, right? These are the first individuals that assist you on your journey, whether we want to look at it as being a good thing or a bad thing, because some of us have really experienced some crappy blood relatives, right? And whether we want to admit it or not, they serve their purpose. And the thing is, we we wouldn't be where we were had we not had those family members. Because remember, you know the saying, "Oh, if you don't learn now, the streets will teach you." If you don't learn from your family members, the streets will definitely teach you, right? And something happened, and it kind of made me emotional. It made me emotional, and it took me back to what I've been needing to grow from all these years, right? And for me, I've always had this, my moon is in an air sign, right? And some of y'all might see this and be like, oh, well, I don't have that. Well, the thing is, I look at my Vedic chart and not my Western chart, which for me is a difference, right? But I'm going to say this anyway. My moon is sitting with um, two malefics in an air sign. And some will say that this makes a person weak, right? However, I will say that my moon is not is not strengthened because of where it sits and what it's sitting with, right? And it makes me very sensitive. Like people can say something and it makes me very sensitive. And one of those things that I'm learning is I have to be okay with people having their opinion or feeling the way that they feel, right? And one thing about me, I'm an empath. I'm a high empath. And I'm just really realizing this. Someone can say something or do something, and I will feel it deeply. And what I have to learn is I have to grow a thicker skin because no one or anything should be able to move me without my say so, right? And this is where boundaries come into play because I have to understand that I have my own boundaries, right? And one of those boundaries is being able to control my emotions and not allowing anyone else to step on them. And I just learned a few minutes ago my ascendant makes for a passive aggressive individual. And I've always been a very passive aggressive because I don't like drama. I don't care for it. But if you buck up against that grain real, in a manner that, yeah, we gonna go at it. And that's just how I've always carried it, which I really don't like to. However, I'd rather be passive aggressive. Okay, yeah, whatever. Do whatever you do. But that does not set good boundaries. And I'm learning to speak up more because it's like when I've always spoke, it was always an issue. People always had an issue about how I spoke. And I have to get to the point where people don't care about how they feel, treat me and talk to me. And it's not about me not caring about how they feel and how I treat them, but more so, I have to stop thinking about others first and think more about myself, right? And these are some of the things that my family has been teaching me. And I've talked about this on another episode, how I'm a karmic lesson number 8. And this particular individual who just I had this interaction with is a day number 8, right? And I noticed how I always had these conflicts with the number 8 because they are my karmic lesson. These are the ones that are teach me the things that I really truly need, and I'm grateful for them, even though this learning process thing is like, ugh. But know that you need no one and nothing else to validate you. And this is something else that came up that during that interaction. And so it was like, and like I said, this ain't the word that I was using, but I'll get to it. Source was telling me, see, this is why, right? You don't rely or put your trust into other people because they are going to be who they are. And it was like after the interaction, I was like, Source, like, how do I perceive this? And Source was like, he's just in character. You cannot be upset with him. He's in character. Allow him to be. Don't feel no way about it. Figure out what it is that you needed from that interaction. Learn from it, grow with it, and keep it moving. It's just that simple. You don't have to have a whole crying spill about it because, man, look, I'll have a whole violinist out this motherfucker about my emotion. I'm not lying, y'all. And I'm just being 100 with y'all because if I can be 100 with myself, I can be 100 with y'all. That means that y'all can be more authentic with yourself. Not saying that y'all not, just want to show y'all that it's okay to be y'all. And this is the whole point of coming to planet Earth, so we can grow and we can expand and we can explore and we can experiment. That's what it's all about. And I'm really learning to stop giving a fuck about what people say and how people feel because it shouldn't affect me. What goes on in someone else's head is none of my business. What goes on in someone else's heart is none of my business. I know mine, right? And it's so funny because another thing that I learned from that was I don't have to look at individuals and feel any kind of way towards them or against them, right? The thing that I need to understand is I am who I am, and I'm a beautiful, amazing soul, and I don't have to allow no one to change that for nothing. For nothing. I am going to stand true to my and what is it? I'm gonna stand true to my beingness, right? I love who I am. I love what I stand for. And just because someone does something that triggers you does not mean that you have to stoop to their lower levels. Okay. Yeah. I'm I'm tired, not tired, but I'm over being in my lower chakras. I need this alignment to happen for me, right? It's all aligning. And remember, I made a video that transformation has begun. This shit has begun. And if you're not feeling it within, you will feel it soon. You will feel it soon. It's happened, right? We will speak this into existence for all you amazing souls. It has already happened. So embrace it, enjoy it, experience it. If you haven't heard it today, I love you. I love me. I love us. I love we. And remember, no one, no one can validate you but you. Peace.